I'm Mark.
We're here at Terrapin Glass Blowing Studio again, and today we're going to be heating up some cane plates.
We're going to attempt to make a reticello bowl, which is by far the most complicated thing I know how to make. No guarantees on how this is going, but we'll try to do a decent demo for you. The way this is going to work is we made a bunch of glass cane, which you probably saw in earlier episodes. We're not going to show you the cane pull today. We're going to make two cane cups, one twisted one way and one twisted another, and then we're going to blow one inside the other to result in a bowl with a crisscross pattern of cane, and if everything goes right, we'll have a little air bubble trapped in the center of each piece of cane. First step we're going to do is we're going to measure up the cane. We're going to roll it up on a collar, on a hollow pipe, and this tool is used to determine how big the collar has to be to fit the canes that Dom's going to heat up for us. I'm going to give it a measure and then we're going to get started.
So he's using the pie divider to measure it. Once it's measured, I'm going to start heating up this plate.
And so I'm going to make a collar.
I don't want to stick the plate right in the heat right away. Everything's cold, so I've got to slowly heat it up. Once it starts getting hot, I'll take longer heats, and then I'll start squishing it. Meanwhile, Mark's got a blowpipe. He's going to get a little bit of glass on it and make a collar to fit that exact size. So when all goes well, we've got the circumference of the flat. So here we've got a pastorelli plate with the canes on it. And we're going to slow cook this at first. So I'm just making sure these are all lined up because I'm going to start heating them to the point where they'll start sticking together.
And I'm working on the collar, which we're going to attach those canes to. I'm sizing it up. What the pie divider does is it tells me what diameter collar to make so that it'll fit the canes that she's heating up. This is looking pretty good. It needs just a little trim.
I'm heating it, I come out and I flip it over so that it's all a nice even temperature. The burner's coming in from the side of the glory hole, so the glory hole isn't all one equal heat. So in order to try to equalize it all, I just keep flipping it in between every heat I make. Notice I'm starting to heat longer. The plate's nice and warm and the cane's nice and warm, so it'll start sticking soon. I don't want to heat too long because then it's going to stick to the plate and be stuck. So I'm starting to squish it with these metal paddles, these tags. It's not quite hot enough to give it a good squish yet. And we're really working on our timing. We would both like to be ready at the same time. So we're both I'm trying to get them hot as fast as I can. Mark's trying to get his collar ready. If one's ready before another, then we have to put a holding pattern on, which makes it a little more difficult.
So I'm sized up pretty good. Excess glass is trimmed off the end. And what we've got is we've got a blowpipe with some glass on it and clear air channel all the way through. So we can make a bubble from the canes that Dom's heating up, and I'm gonna go cool the pipe and get ready to pick those up.
What's your status?
Are you ready?
Let me give it one more light squish and a flash.
Okay, I'm ready when you are.
So these are starting to do what we call pancaking. I can put the tag underneath it and it'll start rolling up all until it's all stuck together. So that's a good sign, and that's telling me I'm almost done. So I'm gonna give it one more squish, make sure it's not stuck to the plate, make sure it's all lined up, and Mark will be rolling it up on that bench in a second. Pretty good roll up. He's now gonna heat it, start lining it up, and zipper it closed. Right in front of you. Oops. So he's just using the marver. We had a little tiny mishap where it's a little bigger than it should be, but it's gonna be okay because Mark has practiced this over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
A little bit of extra work to get it where I want it, but we'll get it there. So now we've made a cylinder out of it. The next step is to make a bubble out of it. We do that by closing off the end, and I think that's been in earlier, I'm certain that's been in earlier episodes. Hey Dom, you want to bring me a very, very small bit? Need a little, hey Dom. Small bit.
What? You're good?
Need a small bit.
Small bit.
Got one little hole to plug.
Straight up and down?
Yeah.
So you've got a teeny little spot we're missing, so we're gonna put a little bit of glass on it to fix that.
I'm ready when you are.
Minuscule bit. Mark, how small?
Like that. Pretty small.
So I got a little glass from the furnace, and we can plop it on our hole.
That should do it. Had one cane a little short on the collar, so use just that little bit of glass to straighten up that spot. We're going to start to close the end off of this. We're going to make a bubble, and then we're going to twist that bubble.
So he's just closing up his bubble. We're gonna have a little extra piece that I'll catch and put in the annealer. We like to save those. Mark can use those for paperweights, or if he's feeling really ambitious, he can even take a bunch of them and have me heat them up and squish them and roll them up that way.
Cut this nub off the end. And bubble's not quite sealed yet, so I need to work it a little longer to seal it.
Do you want me to have him turn that pickup box up? No.
Not for the second piece if we do it. Get this guy straightened out nice. A few trips to the marver helps seal it up. See if we're there. Sealed up. So now we've got a white stripe bubble, and we're going to start to twist this bubble now.
So the trick is, you have to remember the first way you twist, and then the second time, make sure to do the opposite. So he's heating, and he's gonna twist. And we're gonna help him remember, so we don't make a mistake.
So we're twisting this one to the right. And we'll twist the next one the other way. So I'm going to throw this on the cooler. A lot of times people ask, if they're watching while you're working, does the blowpipe get hot? And the answer is yes. And it's a lot easier to work with it if you can hold it up close like this, rather than being out here like a fishing rod.
Behind you. So I'm going to put out all the canes for the next roll up so that they can heat up a little bit on this hot plate we have over here. Make my life easier in a few minutes.
Putting just a little air into it as I twist it so that it stays inflated. It doesn't fold up on itself. And I think a little more twisting will be there. So we're starting to get a nice uniform twist in here, and I think Just a little more twist and we'll be ready to go. The real critical thing here, amongst a lot of critical parts with this, is that the two cups get twisted in opposite directions. I think just one little bit of more twist on the end, and I think we're good.
Are we gonna put a knob on?
Nah, we're just gonna go straight. We'll do our best to center it up. Need to get a neck in there now.
So he's cutting the break-off point right now. It's called the neckline. He's using a tool called the jack to do that. Meanwhile, he's still blowing through his blow hose, letting it inflate slightly, letting it get nice and round and even.
We'll blow that out just a little more, and then we'll transfer it up.
In front of you.
Yeah, I'm ready for a punty dom.
So I've got a solid rod. I'm gonna get a little bit of glass and shape it into a punty for Mark. This will allow him to open up the cup before we put it away.
Okay. Feel good?
So he plops it on the center, puts some water on his neck, and with a bonk he'll be free from the blowpipe. And now we'll be able to open up that cup a little more. Called the Sophietta to pop it open a little bit more. This will allow him to open it a little without having to force it using the tools and leaving tool marks.
Want a paddle?
He's getting it hot, and we're gonna work as a team to open it. He's gonna go inside with the jacks, and I'm gonna paddle the lip.
Don't really need much, huh?
No.
Open it just a hair more.
That weird lump right there.
Just got to get a little deeper heat. So we're gonna take this off. You're gonna glove, taking the flash gloves, and you're gonna box
Josh,
it.
will you open the pickup box so I put it in a few minutes?
Why don't you glove up?
Hey Dave, will you get Josh?
Make sure you flash those, Dom.
Yeah.
You ready?
So we're gonna be putting this cup in a pickup box. It's up at 960 degrees. So it's gonna hang out there until we're ready to combine them together. We made a little nest out of fracks, so we're going right behind you. And everything's going in there.
Ready?
So it's just hanging out in the nest we made. It's gonna soak there for a while and stay at a good temperature until we're ready to combine them.
So we're gonna take a break, and I guess we're gonna finish this piece on the next episode. So we're gonna take a break, cool off. That's gonna sit in there. Basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a cup twisted the other direction.
It's being weird
and
because
blow
I
that
had
second cup inside there, and hopefully we get the desired effect.